some of you may know I spent 14 years as a school teacher, so I'm bringing Mr. Odom back, and I'm giving a score to nutrition styles, nutrition approaches, a grade letter score, so you can understand from my going on 11 years of experience as a personal trainer and online fitness coach, just what I've observed works better and what doesn't work so good. So let's get right to it. An F grade. Yes, I see you there. We're live here in my school group, and this is a weekly segment called the 413 Huddle, and we had someone making a funny teacher remark. I'm giving an F to those on a seafood diet. Seafood, you see it and you eat it, because obviously, like, I think most Americans are on this plan and they don't really think about it. And maybe there is some element of trying to eat healthy, but like that, there's like some awareness, but it's so easy, even with awareness, to go to the store and something can say on the package high protein and it means nothing, you know, like. And I gave my daughters these like Kodak protein waffles, not to call out a brand or anything. I'm not trying to bash them. They're delicious, but they're protein waffles. And I think it's 2 waffles is just 10 grams of protein, which is perfect for them. But like, if I'm a grown man that needs 200 plus grams of protein a day, if I'm serious about lifting weights, and I know that if I don't pursue my nutrition that way, I might as well take up another hobby like badminton or tennis. Not to, you know, I'm not bashing you if you enjoy that, but you know, I better be more serious about my nutrition than 10 grams of protein at breakfast. You know what I mean? So I think most people are here, they just see it and they eat it, you know, and it's just a comfort thing. We are programmed in America for comfort, and in many parts of the world, and I could go on about that. But we're not going to. I give a D is at least not failing, but it's still not good. And this one's going to surprise you. Meal plans get a D. Why? Because meal plans may work if you have the willpower to stick to them. But then what happens after? There's always a rebound. And don't get me wrong, man. In some context, if you lose, like for example, like with me being a bodybuilder, if you drop down and people act like this is small or whatever, but in natural bodybuilding, it's normal to see a guy on stage weighing in the 150s or 160s. If you weigh in the 170s and you're on the natural bodybuilding stage, you are stacked, bro. If you're in the 180s, holy moly, you're muscular. And like, you know, here I am right now, I'm 182, cutting for a show. I'll probably end up in the upper 160s. And I'm 6 feet tall, you know, like in pure off-season mode, I'm 220. So like some rebound may be good in some context because it allows your body to get back to normal. Shouldn't be obese or overweight, maybe like some of you used to be, or like you're trying to get away from. We do need to have a healthy relationship with our body where we're like, you know, a lot of people's goals are a great goal to achieve just to achieve, but the goal is not to stay there. It's then to go back to a new normal. I hate that term. But a new normal where you can say, all right, I'm not shredded. I can still see somewhat of a resemblance or somewhat of an outline of abs. I'm performing good. I feel good. I'm motivated to train. And I know I'm within striking distance of that goal if I ever want to go back. There are no good things come from being single digit body fat except competing in bodybuilding. You're useless. You feel like crap. You feel bad, and I think more people need to know that. But this guy I follow, he's either on drugs or he's showing only videos and pictures when he was in that shape. And of course, we all do that. Why would you show yourself not at your best? You know what I mean? So just understanding that context is important. But meal plans will get you there maybe, but they have a bigger rebound, often beyond what's healthy. It doesn't really fix. The core issue is improving your relationship with food and learning how to always be making good choices. And that gets me into this. For C, I give a C grade to, this is just average. Eating, I'll get out the quotation marks, clean. Like, what is a clean food exactly? I love asking people this. And they get so irritated. You know what I mean, bro. You know what I mean, bro. It's clean or it's dirty. You know what I mean. Healthy. Okay, you mean healthy food. And then you just start to give examples. You know, was an apple healthy? Yeah. Is an apple clean? Yeah. Do you know it has formaldehyde in it? Well, you say you don't eat this food because it's dirty, because it has chemicals. Apples have chemicals in it. It has formaldehyde. Oh yeah, Doug. And then apples have sugar. Oh yeah, and there's no ground to stand on. You cannot tell me foods are clean or dirty. You cannot tell me foods are good or bad. But a habit of eating a food all the time can be bad. A habit of eating a food all the time can be good. There's only good and bad habits. There is no clean food. There is no dirty food. Oftentimes, even with organic foods, you got the organic section of the farm or the separate organic farm over here. Well, there's this thing, I don't know if you've noticed, called wind. Sometimes the pesticides and chemicals that we're so afraid of, and maybe there's some legitimate claims to that. Maybe, 100 years we'll know more maybe, but the wind can carry that still, and at the end of the day, it's just about trends, averages, and your habits. And eating clean is an upgrade from meal plans because you're not so restricted as you are with the meal plan. And a meal plan is an upgrade from just, you see it and you eat it. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna grab something. I'm gonna go in the pantry. But there's two better options. Option B, and I think I'm giving this a B because it's good. I think this is a good thing to do. I just don't think it's great in that I don't think it's great for this to be your strategy that you're like, I'm adopting this for the rest of my life. It's just how I am, Doug. Respect it. It's how I'm wired to do this. I don't quite buy this. And that is tracking macros. You know what I mean. You're sitting at a restaurant with your friends trying to enjoy a meal and they get out their phone and they're doing this. You texting somebody, bro, while you're eating with me? No, I'm just putting this into MyFitnessPal. Heck, that was a very 2015 thing to do. They're taking a picture of it and an AI thing is going to tell them the macros. Nah, man, understand, okay, think of it like a business. How are you supposed to grow a business if you're not aware of the reality of how much money your business is bringing in and how much money your business needs to spend? What's the rent of your business? What supplies do you have to buy? Who do you have to pay? There's an overhead. How much money do you have to make for you to make a profit and for you to make a living? You have to focus on numbers at some point. And that's my thing with tracking macros. When I said everybody should do it, it's a good thing to do because you have to face reality. And reality can't be mushy-gushy and all feelings based. You have to look at the facts, the numbers. Well, Doug, I'm just not a numbers person. It doesn't matter. You can't feel your way to this. Sometimes you have to look at the numbers. And I think there gets to a point, though, where you look at the context of human history, measuring food with numbers is a very new thing. And it makes us think about the consequences. And I mentioned this being like a 2015 thing because that's when MyFitnessPal really hit the scene. And flexible dieting and the idea that if I get 500 calories from a donut instead of 500 calories from oatmeal and something else, probably just a big bowl of oatmeal, while the macros won't match exactly, it's still 500 calories. And if I can make it fit my macros even better, there's some good to that, and that it helps you eat a bigger variety of food, which is always good and I always encourage. And I know my doctor, we were talking about this the other day, talking about how it is so important to eat a variety of food. And some people, especially bodybuilders, will give themselves a food allergy by eliminating something unnecessarily. Not recommended by a doctor. I'm going to cut out all dairy, bro. Why? I'm just hardcore, man. I'll do anything to win. I'll eat dirt. Why are you cutting out dairy? Are you allergic to it? No. And why? Do you think it makes you harder? You think it makes it tough? You're tough because you won't eat yogurt? What? Because you don't put cream in your coffee? I don't know. I don't get that. That's foreign to me, and frankly, it's dumb. Now, if you have a dairy allergy, sure, cut it out. Otherwise, you're just being hard for no stupid reason at all. And your hardness is likely, maybe going to give you a food allergy in the future and make it hard for your body to tolerate things. So I say all that to say this. Tracking macros has its benefits, but I'm not so sure, and there's literature now showing this. It's also a good way to develop an eating disorder if you don't learn to have a healthy relationship with food if you don't obsess over the numbers. And I get it, some of you are numbers people, and it's just so satisfying to check the boxes at the end of the day. Yes, I hit my macros. Use that, but don't do it every day. Use that, but take breaks from it. Don't lose touch with your body. I don't want anything to have power over me. I don't want anything to be the reason I do or don't accomplish something. And you think about, I love pumping iron, watching Arnold. Those guys, man, were they tracking macros? No. Even when you watch the 80s documentary, like Battle for Gold, Rich Gaspari's in the kitchen. He's weighing the spaghetti on the scale. And he's got this book out. And he's, talking about how he's learned nutrition from this book. He's tracking in some way there, just without a phone. But for Mr. Olympia, are you training for Mr. Olympia? Guys, people go compete in Mr. Olympia and come back home and go to their jobs because you're not going to make money unless you're like one of the top 2% of the people there. And even many of the people that actually place at the Olympia bring home like $500, $1,000. Like, quit acting like being in better shape is going to make you rich or provide for your family. It's just to steward our temples better. And it's not just stewarding our body physically, but like mentally. We need to think about how things are affecting us mentally. Tracking macros is not everything it's made out to be by some people. It's a good tool. You should spend some time doing it for awareness. But then we need to think at some point, and it takes work to get to this point. And at some point, you work your way up. You have to graduate to it. And I'm still learning to do this. I can do it in seasons, but I'm still learning to make it a permanent fixture in my life. And that is intuitive eating. Now, I define intuitive eating as knowing how to listen to what my body is telling me to get the goal result I want. For many people, listen to your body is going back to your old habits because you've not spent enough time in the trenches reinforcing your identity, frankly, and reinforcing the new you, reinforcing the way God sees you, reinforcing all these things that are going to make you have a vision of where you want to be and behave as if you're already there because of how you can see yourself. And to get to where you intuitively eat, you don't eat a meal because it's on your meal plan. You don't eat a meal because you're eating clean. And you don't eat a meal because it fits a number figure for the day. You eat that meal because first of all, it's a habit. Secondly, within that habit of knowing to eat, you can slide it up and down, more carbs, more fat, less fat, based on what you're feeling and how you're performing in the gym, which is key, and what you're seeing in the mirror, if it's physique related. And some people will say, it won't work. You cannot say something doesn't work when it's been done. It takes one person to accomplish it. And I'll give you an example because I've worked with these guys as my coaches before. Team 3DMJ, Dr. Eric Helms. Not only did he compete and successfully make it to stage, which less than 1% of gym goers will ever do. You laugh at that guy for not placing or getting last place, whatever. He made it and you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to the guys out there doing it, getting on stage. But he won his pro card, intuitive eating, and he still does it to this day. You do not have to do anything, but to get to this level, it does take practice. It takes work. It takes learning. It takes making mistakes, and it takes learning from those mistakes and not beating yourself up because your identity is where it needs to be. So these are my letter grades. Where are you right now? Drop in the comments where you are right now. Honestly, just be real. I'm just curious where a lot of you guys are. And I understand. There's going to be pushback. Well, I've always used the meal plan. It's always worked. Okay, what happens at the end? Do you stay lean? And just because something works for you, what if you're here and you could be here? And it's not just about physically, I think men are the worst. We have egos. And I see a lot of guys and I'm just going to say it, a lot of the guys that are supplementing with testosterone or just flat out not getting it through a doctor and just using steroids. A lot of them have egos and they're very proud of their physique and they kind of get, this Dunning-Kruger effect and they think their way is the best way and all this stuff. And I'm just simply sharing what I've noticed, patterns and habits and results from people that I've coached. And I've coached over 200 men in the past 10 years. And I'm underestimating that, I'm sure, by far. My count is probably much higher, but over 200 men, some of them competing in bodybuilding, some of them, going on to win their class, some of them going on to, inspire other men. There are levels to this, and I just want to see you succeed in whatever it is you do. And maybe you're like, Doug, I'm right here, man. I'm in the seafood diet because I don't know what to do. Man, join my 413 method. It's only $27 a month, and I'll get you started, teach you my 413 plate method. It's just crazy simple, and you don't have to track anything yet. If you are interested in learning to track, like I do need to have awareness. I do need to budget what I eat and have those numbers, and that would help me enjoy more foods and give me more freedom in what I eat and less guilt around certain foods. Because I'm here, I'm eating clean. If you're here and you want to be here, the inner circle is perfect for you. It's a group community effort, but I also go in and I coach you one-on-one and make adjustments for you. So if we're not seeing the results we want with our numbers, I adjust it to get you to where you want to be, because it's not about having a plan. It's about taking that plan and moving it and shaping it as we go through different things and plateaus, and your body resists it because your body thinks you're starving, but even just eating a little less food and it, you know. And then if you want to learn intuitive eating, that's something I work with my personal one-on-one members, VIP, which right now I've got 2 spots open for that. But I just wanted to share that in case, because I want to help. And if I don't offer to help, people will go looking for help elsewhere. And I'm like, no need to do that. If you're a Christian man, 413 Barbell Club's where you want to be. All right, longer video, but I just wanted to break that down and give context and explain myself. I could have made it 3 times longer, but people like shorter videos these days. It is what it is. All right, y'all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. Who knows, maybe Mr. Odom will be back.